Good morning. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. It's a pretty warm one here again in East Tennessee. I don't think it feels as humid today though. We haven't had rain in like a day, so that's been good. It's slacked off a bit. I think we're gonna have a couple days of no rain, which will be kind of nice. The grass is growing super fast. I mowed it over the weekend and I think I'm gonna have to mow it again. Check out my flower garden. Wowzers. So we'll do a walkthrough this morning and I want you guys to check out these marigolds. They are insanely tall. I've never had any this big before. My son's girlfriend, Grace, she brought me another lemon tree, which I'm pretty excited about because it's flowering. And then also we'll go inside and check the lettuce that I have under the grow lights because it's doing pretty good as well. Very active right now. We got lots of butterflies and all that stuff. Oh, I want you guys to see my hummingbird vine. We'll go there first because it started to bloom. Oh, look at this. Do y'all know what that is? That's a June bug in July. It's July 11th. So it's a July bug. They're flying around everywhere. All right, check out my cosmos. So pretty. But look at the hummingbird vine. All right, if y'all notice, I have flowers. Let's check it out. So my hummingbird vine has bloomed. Also another name, star vine. And y'all can see why. It's cute little star flowers all over it. Got a ton of bees going on in here. They're everywhere. But it's so pretty. It's starting to really fill out. Last year it was super thick canopy over here, but it also was a different foliage. This one is a little more dainty and I wanted to try it out this year. I really just like this one better. I don't know if it's going to provide as much shade, but it might as it continues to fill in because it will do that all summer because it is super thick right there. Very pretty. Let's gander at these zinnias on the back side. Wow, so pretty. Now, these sunflowers are starting to get a little spent and faded, but there's still tons of seeds in there, and the birds are really enjoying these seeds. They're taking a lot of them out of there. I'm actually getting tons of finches. Me and my husband sit out here a lot at night. We can see the yellow finches coming and eating off these now. I am going to cut some of the heads because I'm not going to give all of it to the birds just for next year to reseed. So my neighbor and I thought about using his big field over there and we may do a sunflower patch over there. He's like, yeah, that would be a fun project we could do together. And I thought that would be too. So I'm going to save a bunch of seeds for that project and we're going to do that because he's got a really large field over there and I think it would look amazing full of sunflowers. I've got sunflowers growing back here. These are not volunteers. These are ones I planted because I wanted them to come a little bit later in the summer after these were faded. Because you can succession plant sunflowers, which I like to do that. I'll check out the bees. They are very busy. Busy, busy. I need to come out here later today and put some flower tone out and give to all these flowers just because there's so many in here and they would probably appreciate a little bit of fertilizer. I try to do that like once a month. That one is super tall. All right, I want to go back over here and show you guys my teddy bear sunflowers. They're getting really close to blooming. And I've got this really big zinnia right here, a watch keeper. Now these are teddy bear sunflowers and they are getting very close to blooming. They're generally like a dwarf variety, so they don't get as tall. But I'm thinking this might be one too, so it is a little bit taller than the ones that I grew a couple years ago. If you plant them with more spacing, they will get a little taller. One right here is a seed that I threw in a little bit later, and it's gonna have the multi-heads. Here's some of my marigolds, and check out those. These things are so tall. Literally, they come right to here on me. Grew these last year, and they were half the size of this. Actually, to feed these beds, what I do in the fall is I put a lot of my grass clippings, I put a lot of the leaf litter that I pick up in my bag in my mower, I put all that in there and then I let my compost from my chicken coop and everything from my gardens just break down over the winter and then I add it to the top of this in the spring and then I topped it off with a little bit of new topsoil and It's amazing. Look what they're doing. And I've got my first bloom right here. Little overachiever. She's the first one to make her appearance. Got a really tall one right there, but I cannot wait till this is all filled out because it's got tons of blooms. And last year these things lasted longer than all my other flowers, like looking really good until fall. So I definitely will grow these every year, and I just think they're so magnificent. Okay, let's walk around the fence, and then I'm gonna head down to the garden and we're gonna check that out. I've had green tomatoes in the garden that have not turned. I don't know why they're still just green, but we're gonna go look and see if any of them is even looking like they're gonna turn. Another patch of zinnias, and these are my pink and purple ladies. Most of these are the same color, but just variant shades, which is really pretty. Love it. And then I've got a patch back here that's got a bunch of reds. Oh, there's bees flying right at my head. Look at that, gorgeous. The bluebird going in and out of there. And then I've got a little patch of orange zinnias. Tennessee Volunteer. And check out this new sunflower head. Got a little bee in there. Everything's in full bloom. All right, guys, I'm down at the garden, and I'm just gonna walk through quickly right now because I did not wear my garden boots, and it's probably a little muddy in here still from all the rain. We've not had to water at all. I watered one time in the last week and really didn't need to because it ended up raining that night. I've been slacking on my weeding just because we've had so much rain, so my husband needs to probably till. But anyways, y'all see my tomatoes? They're still green. Now they're always turning by this time of year, which is crazy. See that? No red ones in sight. Just don't quite understand that. We have had a weird weather year though. We've had a lot of rain, a lot of cloudy, hazy skies. So maybe that has delayed the turning of them. But I'll go ahead and can them anyways and freeze them. So that's really not gonna be a big issue because I will end up utilizing them anyways. And I've got my okra that's doing amazing. Got blooms on it. Get up under here. I picked some last night actually. You can see all the pieces of okra that are going to be growing off these 4 bushes. And my corn is looking amazing. We've got 2 rows, and I have a whole bunch still left in my freezer, but me and my mother-in-law, we're going to do the corn this year. She's got probably a little better technique than I had. I preserved it last year and froze it, but the texture was a little tough, so I think she's got the magic trick. And when we do it, I'll do a video of us doing it together and we'll put it on here. And then here is my last row of tomatoes. And we're still green. I'm hopeful though, they don't have blossom end rot or anything like that, so that's good. I mean, they can't just stay green forever, right? Look at that big boy. Well, nature is not completely predictable. So that's one of the things about it anyways that's exciting. Everything's not the same, and there's just always something new. You can't completely control it. You shouldn't even try to. So right now let's head over to the chicken coop. So last week I had 7 little cochin babies hatch, and they were in my chicken coop with my 8-week-old cochins, and I didn't want to put them together for at least a couple weeks because the bigger ones might trample the babies, you know, not meaning to be hurtful on them, but it just might happen by accident. So I rigged up a little tote in here and dropped down a heater in it. It's on top of a little cage. You can see it. It's just a little rigged up, but it's working. Hey babies. Y'all, my coop is always so shaded down here, which is really beneficial for the chickens because they never get hot. Look at my little frizzle girl. She's so cute. We need to give her a name. What do you guys think we should name her? Give me some ideas in the comments and I'll consider using them if they're good names. I mean, it's got to be something super cute. Look at her. She's a female. She's got a lighter comb. And I've got some over there. And I've got two like dark ones. And they are female as well, I think. Here are my little cuties. Got to give them some food. Oh, they're so adorable. A bunch of light colors. They'll probably be a lot like my little Frizzle over there and some of these lighter ones, which are my favorite color. They're so cute. I've got a little Brinzy sweeter heater dropped down in there, which they don't stay under all the time just because it's pretty warm this time of year. And they don't need tons of heat, but they are looking good. And all my little baby chickies. Hey chickies. Hey chickies. Y'all gotta get some oats and bring down here and start hand feeding them so they will get used to that and be able to come up to me and everything. I usually throw them a little bit of chick starter because it must taste better. They love it. Chick starter is like higher in protein, but it doesn't have the calcium in it for egg laying, so you can't just feed it to them unless you supplement. Get in there. Now I gotta get some pine shavings for my coop. I've been working on getting all the old stuff out. I still gotta get a little bit more out, and then I gotta go get them some pine shavings. Maybe we'll go out and get some soon. I don't have a way around today. I had to take my car to get the brakes fixed, and then something else was wrong with it. Calipers and some other belt, so yeah. It's always a list of stuff. It's either Seth's truck, Eli's truck, now my car. Y'all, it's always something. Oh well, I have a lot to be thankful for, so I shouldn't be complaining. So since I'm out early today, and this garden is still shaded, this is our third garden. This is my father-in-law's garden. I call it his, so if it fails, it's his. So it was first supposed to be a watermelon cantaloupe garden. But I told you guys in some of the previous videos, last year I planted some gourds. Well, a lot of them sat out here, and apparently I didn't get all of them. So they've reseeded, and this is a gourd garden. Gourdamelon. But what I'm thinking with all these gourds, because I've got on Pinterest and there's so many cute things you can do with them, that I'm gonna make some pots for my succulents and some little planters, like paint them and stuff. That's what I'm thinking, maybe over the winter, we'll see. But regardless, you can make birdhouses and all kinds of stuff out of them. But let's check them. They're so cute. Look at that one. That's a white one. Some of them are bumpy, some of them are like two-toned. There's some in there. And there's so many blooms, y'all. There's gonna be a ton of them. Check that one out. That's cool. In there. I mean, they're everywhere. Some yellow ones. They're actually pretty fun. In there. And then the plastic that I put down, which is not plastic, it's a weed fabric. It was just something we were trying out. Well, it's actually working really well. So if next year we actually get the proper fabric for this that we can reuse that's heavier duty, I think it's really gonna work great because there's no weeds in this section and we didn't put it down there and it's already getting full of weeds. So this is very nice idea here. There's one in there. They're everywhere. They're just interesting to watch grow. But I don't see nary a watermelon. So I told my father-in-law, I said, you must have just got the wrong seed packet. I kid him about it constantly. You didn't pick out a watermelon. He says he did, though. He said he planted the seed, and I put the fabric down and cut around them. But he blames me, but I blame him. That we get at each other all the time. I'll check out the June bugs. They're stuck in my deer net. Actually, they're just on it. They're everywhere. So far, the deer nets work great. It's been a cheap option. I will have to throw away the netting and get some more next year, but it really wasn't that expensive. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the lettuce. Let me do that real quick before I go in because I do have some indoor chores today. my least favorite part. All right, so here's my lettuce. It's looking pretty good, I think. Growing like weeds, obviously. I do need to thin out some pieces. All right, I'm headed in, and after I get my chores done, I need to get to the greenhouse because my mother-in-law, she has a little planter that I made her a couple years ago, but it's looking kind of sad. It's got a jade plant, which she likes in that, and I'm gonna use that and kind of revamp it up. Take these out. I'll probably put them in a little propagation tray because they will, once they get like nursed back to health, they'll grow new limbs and things like that. They just need some more light. It's just some TLC. And then I made a little pothos planter, which I think is super cute. I used some cuttings and put it in a ceramic planter that I actually found at Walmart, so it turned out pretty cute. And this would work good on her porch because she's got some low light areas that don't reach the sun all the time, and I think that would work good. Gotta do a little bit of watering. It's gonna be a hot day, so I try to water in the morning. I don't want my carnivorous plants to dry up. And my house plants, they like a fair amount of water as well. So I'll show you guys what I've done over here in a minute. That one is gorgeous. It's called Transcancendia, or Wandering Jew, but it's a different color than your most normal color that you see them in. A lot of little propagations going on this side. I'm using this for a propagation area. Now before I go here, I want to show you guys my new propagations over here. I actually did a video on them the other day before I'd purchased my new microphone, and the sound quality was terrible because of my vent fan running. Without my microphone, the vent fan just swallowed up all of the audio. So now that I've got my microphone, I'm sorry you didn't get to see the process, but I will be showing more stuff like that on here, but I will show you what I've got going on. So I made a propagation tray, which I went through my greenhouse and took a bunch of clippings one night, and I made some succulent soil from my own mix, and I cut the stems off. So I just cut them off into little rosettes, most of them, and laid them on top of the soil, and I'm lightly misting them every day until they root, and then at that point you can treat them like a regular succulent as far as watering goes. Now I'm just taking a squirt bottle and keeping them misted daily until they root into these little plugs. And these are 2-inch plugs. I've got a variety of stuff going on in here. I've got some Graptivarias, some little rosettes, I've got some string of pearls, and I just cut those into little sections and laid them on top of the soil, and those will root in. All where these little pearls are, they'll just root into the soil. They're really easy to do. And I've got some little aloes in here, I love aloe. I've got some orange blaze sedums, and I've got a ruby necklace, mother of millions, thousands, whatever you want to call it. They do have lots of babies. They can be very prolific. Got a cute little rosette right there. So I need to go through and get some more and just keep me a continuation going of propagation on this side, succulents, tropicals, just whatever I could get a hold of. So I plan on going out and get some more plants, plant shopping. I'll take you guys on plant tours. I thought that, you know, in the future now I'll try to go out to different places and look at different landscapings and show you guys when I'm somewhere new. I'm headed in for a little while. I got some indoor chores to do today. Hopefully I can get them done quick and come outside and enjoy the day out here because it's so pretty. But I'm hoping you guys have a wonderful and blessed day as well, and I hope to see you guys on the next episode. God bless.